Hello everybody, this is Peter from Worth Brewing, and as we prepare to open on June 26th, the staff, Nick, Nicole, Tyler, Ingrid, Jamie, and myself have been busy working on projects, some immediate, some more long-term. The more immediate, the AC in the tap room and the cooler both broke last week. So even though we haven't been open, the building is still operating and costing money, as any old building will. But St. Ansgar Steve was in today, and he's got that fixed. It's cooling down, and so I'm cooling down a little bit, feeling a little better, and we're going to present a video today on one of our more long-term projects. That's finishing the facade of our bar. When we opened in 2016, master furniture maker John Sheasley took a trunk, a black walnut trunk that had been on my grandparents' farm been in the garage, actually dragged in there for about 30 years, and just turned it into a fantastic bar top. We never had a chance to finish the front, and now that we've been closed for 3 months, we decided to take the opportunity. And I'm going to show you how we use salvaged wood from a granary at my house to do that. You can see the bar top here. If you've been to the brewery, you're probably familiar with this beautiful slab of walnut. It's actually in 3 pieces rather than one slab, just because there was a nail in, and it was difficult to mill down. Hopefully you can read that card that gives you information from John Sheasley's Dakota Furniture Company. When he first walked in the building, John gave me this table that he fabricated. Never knew us, never been through the town before, but he thought it worked really well here. You can see the facade now. It's kind of a finished plywood. It doesn't look awful, but it does have a real smooth surface that doesn't really take a finish. So that might end up being a bit of an issue at the end here, as you'll see. It's fairly contrasty when you see the finished project or finished product. This is kind of what we're modeling it after. This is the 1800s bank teller cage from Northwood. It's on permanent loan from the Worth County Historical Society. There's the granary in its last days, standing days, last fall. It collapsed down. This is the point where we're salvaging siding pieces, storing it into my barn. Eventually I called the sheriff, said I'm going to burn it. The last bits that had fallen in together. Again, this was probably late fall 2019. And here we are miraculously in the spring. No more granary, unfortunately, but we were able to salvage quite a few board feet. We'll scan around here and see a little bit of what we were able to save. There's a door that's kind of leaning against the tree right now. We're going to go into the garage, where I'm in the process of cutting some boards for our bar top here. Here's a top piece to the building. Some other miscellaneous things I've saved over the years. These actually are some salvage boards from the brewery, not from the building. And here are some clean, denailed, stacked siding boards from the building. First thing I was needing to do, you can see how rough kind of this wood has. A lot of rotted wood, a lot of dry rot. I needed to trim out the tongue and grooves for our basically 1x4 inch boards that are going to go into the facade front. Here's a poor man's planer. I'm just kind of running it through my table saw. Here I'm cutting off the top groove here to get our 4-inch measurement. And then I needed about a 9.5-inch baseboard, and I got a bunch of boards cut, and I decided to go shopping into one of my other buildings. Hopefully I get this thing fixed before it collapses, but I store a lot of little pieces of wood and things in here. I've actually gone in already and found perfect baseboards before I took this video, but I'm just kind of showing you some of the shopping I did. The only thing I ended up buying on this entire project was some trim boards that we use here at the end. These are the baseboards that I salvaged from that other granary on my property. I'm kind of sanding off the varnished surface. These are some of the finished boards. They've been sanded, they're not finished quite yet, but kind of lined up that we're going to be using, putting together for a very basic design on our bar front. Conditioning the wood a little bit. This is extremely, fairly dry. It's been in the barn all winter. Now I'm giving it a very, very light stain. After the light stain, we put a couple of coats of polyurethane on the pieces. I could have done it after I installed it, but I decided to just go ahead and here I'm staining the baseboard. They really took the stain nicely, very nice recovery. These baseboards were kind of in rough shape. They're a bit wet. All cut, and we're ready to put them back together. This is more or less the easiest part. Again, apologies to John for the kind of slapdash, amateurish woodworking that I'm doing now. I wouldn't want anyone to make really accurate measurements and check up on my work here. There were actually two different types of wood, and I ended up doing, there was a softer, kind of maybe a maple on this side of the bar. The front side was more of a Douglas fir. It was after I was in the middle of cutting it, and I realized, oh, one board has a lot more grain, a little heavier weight, a little nicer, so I used that on the front. Now you can see I'm starting to install the trim inside our little squares. Just simple. This is the only thing I bought. I got some basically Home Depot trim and stained and polyurethane that, and just mitered it in there. Pretty much done now, just kind of cleaning up a little bit. And getting ready for customers late in the month. So thanks for taking the time to check out the video. Stay safe, be good to everybody, and hopefully we'll see you with another video here sometime soon.